Okay, we are joined up here in the grandstand, but none other than Aaron Merriman.
Hey, how's everybody doing today?
I'm so glad that you're here. This is going to be fun to get your take on things from the grandstand, because you don't probably watch much from the grandstand.
No, I don't ever get much opportunity to. I was actually at the Hamiltonian last year, whatever, one of the best days of racing. Good. And but I actually went to a fair here last week, whatever, Urbana, you see the other day, and I just came here with my best friend, Wyatt Irvine. He had some drives on the way to Scioto. This is a beautiful place here. I really like it.
Okay, we'll get the results from Doug.
Range Chris Presley in the sulky, the mile 1:59.
Okay, we've got some of the co-owners out in the winner's circle, Tammy and Skip Hoovler. They own this Meadowland Terror colt along with Dr. R.V. Hutchinson and Dr. R. Van Hutchinson. So always nice to see the owners come down to winner's circle for their horse.
They've been in the business a long time, the Hoovers. I see Brett's here, too. I've drove a lot of horses with them over the years.
Have you?
Yes.
Yeah, they are. Skip has been a USGA board of directors member for I don't know how long, and on the OHHA board, just given so much to this industry. So it's great to see him here.
Yeah, it is.
But we are going to have a little break now because they're going to water the track. So it's a great time to talk to Aaron. How do you do it? That's my question. The places you go, as fast as you go from one track to another.
Psychotic, I'd say. Like you got to like love what you do, and even just like coming here today, you kind of get to the birthplace of racing. Here in Ohio, the county fairs and stuff. I've raced many of them, but you got to have the drive to do it, I guess, and the will to want to do it. And I really, really love the people in this business and the industry, and it's done so much to me. And I love the animal. It's most of it, I love the equine athlete. It's, I don't know if people give them enough credit, but these horses are really they're just amazing animals, and they've, helped me a lot in my life and career, and it's helped my family.
Yeah, yes. I've read that you are so happy when someone wins. You're happy that you won that race, but you're so happy for the connections of that horse.
Yeah, always. Anybody. I just always say I want everybody to do good. I just want to do better. Like when I'm out there. But every race means something to somebody. I don't care if you're the leading trainer or the leading driver, whatever. But that race means something. You don't get to those points to where if it doesn't mean anything. You're not doing it for not. A lot of people do it for a hobby, and they're just as spirited about a win, just the same. Or you're helping someone pay their bills, or or like a Ron Berkey, you're trying to get him to win because when in his country, you're trainer in the country, So, like I said, everything means something to somebody, and I really think that to have that and have that spirit or whatever, I think it kind of that's another thing that keeps me going. And I just want everybody to do good, and everybody to be happy.
Yeah, that's a absolutely great attitude. It is competition. You are out there to do good. You are out there to win. But like you said, you want everybody to do well, so everybody can continue. Because what a great sport this is.
Yeah.
For how long, and generation after generation in this business.
Yeah, I'm a second generation horseman. My dad was a first generation, so like you said, you want to keep it going. You want to see the people have the drive and want to do it. And the younger kids and stuff like that to want to do this and do it the right way. And I think that doing the right way is starting from the bottom, and and learning the horse and learning everything else like that is what's most important. But this, like I said, it's given me so much to me, and it gave me a chance to do something I love and make a living at it. I could have done other things, everybody else could too, but I don't know. It's just it's a surreal feel, sitting over here in the grandstand, just watching some of the younger guys trying to cut their teeth and do some good.
And the crowd we have. I mean, absolutely great to see this many people sitting in the grandstand on a Friday afternoon to watch harness racing.
Absolutely, it is. And some people might not be, but they're just watching the races. Just for the sport. Some might be owners or part owners or family of the owners. But you get to a beautiful place like this and a beautiful fair, and everybody's putting on a show out there. And like I said, we just had a 4-horse race, but 2 photo finishes. You know what I mean? For first and and for third and fourth. So, like I said, it's fun.
Yeah, this is a great. I can't think really a better place to be on an afternoon than sitting up here. The weather's perfect. I mean, it's just absolutely wonderful sitting up here and to look. And they made their winter circle area so pretty with flowers and everything, and it kind of adds to the ambience around here.
Pride.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely took pride in this. And when I've never been here, like I said, and we were pulling in. Wyatt was here last year for the first time, and we were pulling in, and he's like, man, this place is. He's like, you really like it. And like, I had no problem. I was like, hey, because he's going to go to Sato with me tonight. So I was like, yeah, I'll go with you. It's just I don't mind at all. Like I said, I don't get the opportunity to watch many races, and and when I'm at home, I'm a sports fanatic, so things like that. Or if I want to catch up on a show, although I might watch in the car, don't tell anybody. But I watch in the car, or whatever, binge watch on my iPad. But he's actually been helping me do some driving here lately, and I'm just blessed to have him and blessed to be here today.
Yeah, it's a great day, and we're really happy that you're here too. So you're going to Scioto tonight?
Yes.
And you were at Urbana on must have been
Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday.
I'm like, it was last week. That's how my days go. It's another way I can do it. I don't have any concept of days. So
yeah.
I was like, I was there last week. No, it was Tuesday.
Yeah. Just go that day and wherever you end up.
It was 4 race cards ago, for me.
Yeah.
So it could have been last week for most, That's why I was like, oh, that was a while ago. But yeah, what a nice track that is. Oh, I've never been there. But it's a very, very good track for a fair. I mean, very nice.
Oh, a lot of people train there, and that always seems to make a big difference on these county fair tracks.
Yeah, I think they train here too. A gentleman I drove, they're like, whatever. And a couple people asked me if I'm driving. I said, no, I'm sorry. I kind of half retired from the fairs. It's been a few years. I'll go one here or there or whatever. I just kind of retire. I take enough chances with my life, I guess you could say, because just tight turns and sometimes younger drivers and maybe not the same. I don't. I just try to I work enough.
Yes, absolutely. You don't need to take your afternoon and come and drive. Besides, but I was trying to think of something to ask you, but I didn't want this to come out wrong.
Oh,
but
no.
But how long can you keep up this pace? I mean, my goodness, you've been doing this for long time.
Yeah, I've been asked every year, they kind of I say, but I did I'm very strategically trying to race a little bit less. I know it was a couple years in a row I tried to take 10% of my starts back. I don't know to where I'm going to get it at, but I have to have a day off. That's killing. Racing on Tuesday, it was actually hard because that was my day off. You know what I mean? So whether I want to golf with my father, you know what I mean? Even though he's still a young man, you know what I mean? But it just something to do. My son's going back to college. You know what I mean? My daughter's in New Jersey, so I've got so many other things I try to pile into my life besides racing. I always go home every day. You know what I mean? I don't stay. I just go. Very rarely do I stay. You know what I mean? I just want to be around my family as much as possible. And it sounds crazy or whatever. You know what I mean? As much racing is given to me, it's taken from me too, and you get obsessed with this winning and stuff like that. So, and that's what I am. You get obsessed with the winning part. You want to do good, and when you win races, it's very, very infectious. We'll call it, and
the winning, yes.
Yes. It's very, 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 very infectious. But I'm going to say, I'm cool with the Meadows. I like the Meadows. It's my second home, and I think that's what really made me a better driver because you can't drive that track as aggressive. And everybody knows I'm very, very aggressive as is. But, I think I'm going to maybe cut it. Maybe where it's only going to be a couple of days a week at the Meadows, probably here coming up soon. I don't know when, but I'm definitely going to cut back. To where it all depends what the schedule is. You know what I mean? When they come out next year, at Northfield, I have a rumor maybe they're not going to race on Sundays, which would be wonderful. I'm a Browns season ticket holder. So I've got to put my Browns ahead of my racing sometimes. You know what I mean? And no offense, when you go to a ball game, you want to have a couple of beers. It's just, reality. That's I can't even really go out much or whatever, or do much that way. I have a couple beers, I'm dead the next day. Like, I'm not a young man anymore. Like, I might look it or whatever, but, like, I'm, like, not a young man, so I can't even handle it. So I got to have that day off. I'm like, okay, good. Why? We can go have some beers or whatever today or whatever. I said, I don't have to race tomorrow and I can sleep, you know, but
So
it's
you
like. It's
got time to recover, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Like I said, you know, it's, like, not the drinking part. It's just, like, the hanging, you know, the hanging out or whatever. But and I don't sleep very good. I sleep about 4 or 5 hours a day mostly.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, I don't get much sleep. Because once you're done racing and you're, like, on the road, like, driving from the meadows, and your adrenaline's, like, still going. It's so hard to shut down. So, I mean, it's 2, 3 in the morning before I even think about even, like, shutting my eyes. Like, I'm, like, wound up.
Wow. That's got to be tough on you.
Yes, it is. And I've, like, talked to my psychologist or whatever, like, and I tried melatonin and a couple other things, but, like, then I feel like a zombie, like, the next morning. I don't want to get up at all, and it's already hard for me to get up some days anyway, so. You know, I've had a couple injuries, so I was like, oh, my God, I want to roll out of this bed today. You know, I just want to kind of stay here. But, you know, and every once in a while you'll see, like, my mom got sick last year, and I was like, you know what? Like, I had called off a few times last year, and I was like, I was upset with, you know, everything going on with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to think, like, you know what? It's just, like, you know, not worth it every single day. I got to just kind of, like, take the day. You know what I mean? I just say I need a mental health day, or sometime now I just plan them. I'm not going to be there Friday, whatever, if I know I'm going to have one card or something like that. So I think consciously I've been doing a better job of, like, taking care of myself. Because before, like, I would try to drive 100 miles an hour, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I got to get there for this race because this one can win, blah, blah, blah. But I have done much better than them. My speeding tickets have been very, very few last couple years. Like, if there's any policemen listen out there, like, I have the one time the guy was like, this is years ago, by the way. He says, oh my gosh, you have over 50 speeding tickets in Ohio. Like, this was years ago. So I've had my license suspended a couple times. I had work privileges and I work everywhere, so that's so it was like nothing. So yeah, like, I don't even know. It's like not even funny to say. Like, my son's 19. He has not had any speeding tickets or anything like that, but he had a little fender bender, which wasn't his fault. He hit black lights, which I told him about all the time. I said, hey, there's black ice. Well, he's like, I was, like, slowing down. I was only going 50 miles an hour. All of a sudden, my car was going 25. He says, and it, like, whipped around or whatever. And he was so scared. Like, I said, you ain't got to be scared. I'm just glad you're okay. You know, it's, you know, and like, he doesn't even watch racing.
Really?
No, he does not watch it. He's seen me at home, which me and his mother, Tessa, you know, that's his mom, but his biological mom didn't want to be a mother, so I've had him since he was like 1.5, 2 years old. Oh. And he, so Tessa, like, she would be watching me race, and she loved it, and we had the racing network and everything like that, and he would never watch.
Never watch, huh?
No. He says, I watched you sit on the couch a couple times for 6 months at a time when I was hurt, so I don't think that was something he really wanted to see. Okay. To this day, he doesn't take it very good if I, like, get in a little wreck. You know, he's very, very, it's very, very sensitive, you know, over it. You know, I've been hurt pretty bad a few times, and I think he's like, I don't need to watch. Yeah. No interest.
Very scary for a kid.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure it was.
Been a dad, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, your dad's, you know, everybody's, you know, the strong guy or whatever, you know, and you're sitting there with 2 casts and a broken neck and blah, 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 you know, and. Wow. Yeah, you can't do anything with your kid. You got to sit there. You know, they don't, like I said, they don't take it very good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because they look up to you, so you're kind of their hero, and they don't want you to be hurt. That's certainly.
He's my hero. And my father the same. I mean, I'm blessed to have the family I have. You know, and you know, like people always say, well, my mom and dad were divorced at a young age, but they both did a phenomenal job of being parents. I've got 3 sisters, and like I said. They've very supportive. They both lived different ends of the spectrum life. You know, my mom's a college professor, doctor of education. So, like I said, I had a lot of options to do what I wanted to do. I went to college at first, and then I didn't. You know, I was like, okay, I'm going to start driving horses like when I was 21 years old. So, okay. Yeah, I got a little bit of a late jump. Well, I played high school sports. I did, you know, I was just normal. I'm a city kid, pretty much.
Okay.
So, but like I said, you know, knowing you have one mom, one dad, you do the best you can, and you always want to make them proud. You know, you always want to, like, no matter if you make a mistake, they're gonna still love you. You know, so that's the way kind of like I am with my son. Like, you know, things are gonna happen, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I've made plenty of mistakes. You know, and hopefully I can impose the hard working and the things that I do well. So I'm just a big, huge family guy. As crazy as it sounds.
Well, that's interesting to hear, because you just know about you as just on the go, constantly on the go, in the car driving horses, in the car driving horses. You know, So we don't get to hear about your personal life, and that's very interesting.
No, everybody thinks I'm kind of like Watt because I'm always like try to like pursue this, happiness and smile every single time I go someplace, which that's what I want to do. Even if I'm not in the best mood, sometimes you got to fake it, But I don't ever want to like say, "Oh, Aaron's a sourpuss," or "Aaron's," Like I'd rather just say, "Well, Aaron's happy," Like, and that's kind of what I want to be and show people. Like I said, this business can be just as tough as it can do is be rewarding. So you always want to kind of lend a helping hand or like I said, lend a smile or here and there. So people, they appreciate it, I think.
We were talking about that on the air on Tuesday night when you won down at Urbana. I said, look at him. He's got this big grin on his face. It's like you won a great big race.
Yeah, like I said, the purse makes no difference to me. Like I said, that's why I say I'm psychotic. Like I drive everyone the same, and I think the experience, my experience, and a couple times being hurt actually is what really enlightened me, because I used to be like a little bit of a sore loser. Like I'd pout and be upset or whatever, but now only thing that can get me upset is something else going on in my life, but not the racing. Like I'm good. I know some days you're not going to do any good. It's just the way it is. Like Tim Teacher's, a good friend of mine, he says one day, like, he had like 15 horses in and 10 were favorites and blah blah, didn't want to race, and he was really, really upset about it. But he's like, what, the next day I won 7. He's like, and I had and only 2 of them were supposed to win. He's like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And you got to roll with it. You got to roll with the good and the bad.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what keeps your head straight.
Yeah,
doing
absolutely.
it like that. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I've been to therapy. Like that's another thing. People, therapy is good for you. And when I got hurt and stuff like that or whatever, like I'm never afraid. That's a bad thing about it, but I'm like never afraid. But did not want to carry that persona. Like like, okay, well, this guy already does good. Like, why look at him pouting or whatever. Look at him throwing himself. And like I said, and Kurt Sugg told me a long time ago, he's like, you need to stop. This is when I'm just started or whatever. Like, because I get so frustrated or so upset. But I think him and a couple people saying something and getting in wrecks, and having that opportunity where I wasn't going to be able to race again. That's what they said at one time. When you have compound fractures on your arms. And I said, well, maybe I better take this a little bit better. So, but that's all growing up, I guess. I'm glad I did.
Yeah, that's very true. It's just it comes along with the age, and like you said, and a lot of friends help you out. They tell you that kind of stuff. That is.
Yeah, and it means a lot. Like I said, for people to say that, you don't want to upset anybody. Like he says, here you are, you win more races than anybody, blah blah blah. He said, but then you're mad. I said, well, I just get mad now. I can take it away and just whatever. I'm good with it. When I leave, believe that they do not go home with me. No races.
You leave the track and you're done.
Absolutely. That race, it's done.
Yeah,
it's done. Cannot do it again.
Yeah, that's right. You can't do anything about it, so just let it go.
Yep. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's a hard thing to do. Like I said, I think that, like I said, experience or whatever, a lot of that stuff, goes with it. But to transition to that is what I think is what makes drivers good too. You got to just let it go, because if it weighs on you, the horses feel it. Believe me.
How, when you just said the horses feel it?
Oh.
Tell us a little bit about that. What you mean by that?
I think they feel everything. They're just like they're smart. They're way smarter than we give them credit for. They know you're frustrated. I think they know if you're angry. I think they sense all that. And they don't want like they want a confident person like that's not showing any fear for them. They want to be confident and go for you. So I think that if you're not in the best frame of mind, I don't think you're going to do very good.
Yeah, they can feel that through the lines.
Absolutely.
Your attitude.
I 100% agree. My dad says it too. Biorhythms. He says he says if I'm having a bet, he's like, you better just knock it off. Them horses, they know it. They know if you're doing bad. So then you just kind of keep rolling into it, and then you're going to be bad. The horse is going to feel. Like there's not a horse in the world that can overcome a poor attitude.
Frank Fraz always says we created a monster here.
You did, because now people are like, oh my gosh, when's this broadcast starting? When's the broadcast starting? So it's kind of cool. A friend of mine, she texted Jacqueline Cawley. She'd give her a shout out or whatever. I know she watches a lot of the fairs or whatever. She's watching this, so she's like there. So I gave her a little bit of shout. She's I think she lives out in northwest Ohio. So. Okay. I think her little local fairs are like Paulding, etc., which I've been to Paulding.
Have you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been to a lot of fairs.
Yeah.
So I've been to a lot of it. Lisbon.
Okay.
So Lisbon with Claire Umholtz has been a great person that has helped me in my career a lot. Another guy, he says, stay away from Lisbon. He says, that turn's a little tight. So if you ever want to be a driver, stay away.
Oh.
So I listened to him from day one. I never went.
There are those tracks that have those rock springs. And if you've ever heard about rock springs.
Yeah, I heard about it.
you got to have driven there a while before because it's just such an odd-shaped track, and there's a big old stone fence or stone wall right along the track. So.
Yeah, that's another place I think Hunter Myers told me about, because Hunter, when he was 16, like he just hit them all, like he, and what a great way to like get your craft and your trade and stuff like that. I think it's really good for the young guys to get to the fairs, because it teaches you how to, it's a game in inches, and
yes.
Qualifying, like everybody's kind of friendly to everybody and everybody's helping everybody, and that's also great. But you also need to get in there where like people, okay, we're driving for money, where it's a little bit more cutthroat, we'll say, but like. It's just, I think it's just a great experience, and what a career Hunter's made for himself. You got to think that he started at the fairs,
yes.
and he was very, very, he's very aggressive. He's great to drive with, and he's a good kid. He's got a great future ahead of him.
That is what's so interesting is you see these kids kind of graduate.
Yeah.
You see them at the fairs, and they go on. We had Wyatt Farmer yesterday. He's 17.
Yeah.
And he's racing, and said his horse was 11. He was darn near. The horse was almost as old as him.
Yep, I've known him since he's a baby, because I've been driving for 22 or 20, almost 23 years now. And his grandpa, Ray Farmer, and Billy, of course, is his father or whatever. Like, he was kind of like a second dad to me when I was in Raceway Park in Toledo. He really, really took care of me when I was up there, and he always gave me good horses to drive, and the late Craig Carnaccione is, the same. But I remember when Billy had Wyatt, and it's just kind of funny. He's like, and of course, my best friend was still Wyatt then, because we've been best friends for 30 years. But when he had him, whenever, and I see him now, I'm oh my gosh, that's when everybody says, oh, I'm getting old. Oh my God. Like, I don't act old, but I'm getting old. My son's going to be a sophomore in college. Like, I was like,
wow.
Are you kidding me?
Wow, that does make you feel old. How many years you been driving?
23.
23 years.
Yep, I started when I was 21. Well, a little bit before my 21st birthday. That's when I started.
Huh.
I got a late start.
It's been a great career for you, though. My gosh.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's
so wonderful.
When things get, like I said, it's another thing. When things get rolling, you want to kind of just stay rolling. And it's a lot easier. And that's why I commend Hunter. Like, when he was doing well and he was getting the opportunity, he took the opportunity. Like, that's what it is. It's opportunity. But you have to get it too. You have to take it and say, okay, I'm going to go to these fairs. I'm going to try to go to 2 fairs a day. I'm going to try to do this, because the only way you're going to get better, you're going to get better basketball, golf, football, if you don't practice. And he really took off. There's a lot of guys like that. You gotta get the starts in you. Driving one horse a week is not going to keep you tight.
Right. And you got to show up to be there in case somebody wants it and needs a driver. Then you're there. And
Absolutely.
Just drive anything, right?
Yep. Yeah. That's unfortunate. That's the way it is. Yeah. If a horse a little bit got a reputation, you do the best you can with it. And like I said, and I mentioned Hunter and Brady Brown, the same thing over there at the Meadows. These are younger guys that they just both won their 1,000th race. You know what I mean? And Brady has been when I say great kid. I've seen him grow at the Meadows, and just become a better driver. And it just, kind of it's very surreal, and it opens my eyes a lot, and I just really like them guys, what I mean? And I enjoy racing with them. So I'm just really, really proud of them. And they're doing, like I said, it's about doing it the right way. They do it the right way. They show up. They don't call off. They don't complain. They just do the best they can, and that's all you can do. And like I said, and it's great for me to see that, because it's great for the sport.
Well, and it sounds like you're kind of a mentor to them.
Yeah, well, maybe not Hunter as much. He's got Wilder and a couple guys or whatever. Hunter and I are like friends, or what do we call that? Because he's doing the double headers now too. We're just competition or whatever. Yeah. No, we're cool. Brady, I've been. I was actually in his. I went over for his 1,000 win picture. He credits me. A lot of his success, but I mean, he's got a lot of talent. And he's done great for himself. But I really feel like he carries a lot of my qualities. About turn the page, get a little frustrated here and there. Everybody does, but he's good at letting it go.
Oh, and as you said, that's so important. We're going to take a short break for a couple of commercials, and then we'll be right back. Talking off the air about the transparency, how important you think that is. So tell us a little. Yeah,
I just think it's very important. I really think they kind of put cuffs on us in a way, just us as an industry. I think that we need to be more open with the fans, and like I said, even if it's negative, people being negative about it, or the gamblers or the fans, because they don't know enough, to understand the reasonings for a horse racing bad, or a drive, or or something like that. And like, and a lot of people don't understand how well these horses are taken care of. Like that's one of the biggest things. Like people say, oh my, you guys do this. I said, number one, I said, why don't you look up a horse life expectancy in the wild? It's not very long. I said they cannot get sick. These people are spending thousands of dollars on these colic shoulder surgeries and things like that, or whatever, to save these horses' lives. Like, and these people are like, you get the people, but they do not know. People do not know. They don't understand the anatomy of the animal, And I just think that we need to really, as the future goes, to really have something set up to where there is a open forum or some sort of talking thing or whatever. Like, and I wouldn't mind volunteering. And I know there's plenty of other guys that wouldn't. Just because we got to give ourselves a black eye by kind of like hiding it and covering things up, or whatever. And I still think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and like you said, it's because people just don't know. It's not because they just don't understand it. I was telling a story a few broadcasts ago about at Chillicothe and how this guy he had to race out of the tent and his horse was a little uncomfortable. Well, he had brought a battery-operated fan just for this horse, to make her comfortable and make her happy. And I said, this is the kind of stuff that goes on day after day after day, that people don't realize how important it is to make these horses happy.
I say this, which is, I'm not trying to make a bad joke, but I tell these people, I said, believe me when I tell you that some of these grooms and people that take care of these horses, they take care of the horses better than themselves. Like, that's legit. Like, you could eat off these horses or whatever, then you can see that. I was like, okay, he doesn't really care about his, whatever way he looks or whatever, but their animals are impeccable because that's their life, and listen, for every 5,000 people do it, of course there's going to be someone bad, but there's something bad in everything, and people always just pinpoint that. But the care and the time that these animals get, it's amazing, and I think that's one of the biggest things that needs to be transparent, because they don't really realize that these horses are eating 3 meals a day, and what I mean, they're getting walked and exercised. I mean, yeah, they live in a stall, whatever, but they get turned out. There's a lot of great things. I mean, and they feel loved. Even the slow ones, they get the same care. It doesn't like. I mean, really, it's kind of crazy when people talk. Oh my God, all you guys do this. I said no, it is. That's our living. We take care of them, and I mean, I miss grooming horses. It's kind of crazy. I tell everybody, like, you guys are lucky I'm not a groom anymore. I said I was a great groom. Ask my father. I was a very good groom. When I started to be a better groom is when my uncle had bought me a horse, a half a horse with him, and I had to take care of it. Well, I didn't wash the harness one time, and then the legs were dirty. So my dad went down to the tack shop there, and he put on a bill for me because I'm an adult now and I have a horse, a harness, and all this stuff. I said, what are you doing? He said, well, since you don't want to take care of it, he says, you're going to buy it yourself. So that just taught me there. And I said, I took care of it then.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, I'm glad you did. He says, those things aren't cheap. He's like, you got to take care of things.
When I said we talk about, sometimes the heat or the mud or anything, and the horse comes first.
Yeah, always.
Those grooms, they forego taking care of themselves. The horse gets taken care of first.
Yes.
And after that, then the groom can go get a bottle of water.
Yep.
Or
the horse. The horse is first.
Yeah.
Like I come here, there's guys racing, like you said, like out of the shed row, the trail. I mean, like they're here to, like I said, the horses. This is their living. I mean, they're happy to be here.
Yeah.
And these horses are out there, like you said, they got a personal fan, like I mean,
yep.
Everything to make the horse comfortable. They got fly sheets, things like that or whatever. Like fly sheets, like a very very thin. It's like a mesh, blanket and. Man, I was like, man, I wish I got taken care of like that.
I know. Sometimes you think that, like you said, they take better than they do of themselves.
Oh, nice warm bath, soap bath.
Yep.
People dream of that kind of stuff.
Like you said, they just get taken care of, absolutely great, and we need to tell people that. And
yes.
It's so refreshing to hear you say that that's something that's very important to you and to let
very
people know.
Yeah. Same way, Bill Burke here, Bill Rhodes, like. Bill Rhodes his wife's a veterinarian. I mean, their horses are immaculate, and they all treat their tummies, their stomachs, or whatever, because of the for ulcers and things like that. They get it whether they have them or not. Everything is. It's very 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 refreshing for me. Like I know at least I'm gonna have a happy, healthy horse. You know what I mean? If there's anything wrong, they don't race.
Take care.
She's a worker.
Yeah.
And Donnie's had a heck of a career. He's great. He's a great driver.
And that combination of those two are just really doing so well.
Yeah, they are.
And did last year.
Yeah,
too.
they mesh well. They mesh well together,
Yeah.
and it's shown on the track. It's with the results. So she's had a great couple years, and like I said, Donnie's had an unbelievable career. I mean, people don't realize he's been everywhere and he's beaten everybody.
Everybody.
You know, there's no. You know, he's just had, like I said, he's a great driver. Very, very quiet, not much whip. You know, and he's a great guy to look after, and his son's doing a phenomenal job, Justin. There's a kid doing the right thing. Goes where there's opportunity. He goes to Northfield Downs. He's going to Buffalo right now. He goes to some fairs. He's going where the opportunity is. You know, and you have to get better. It's the only way you're going to get better. You're at it like Northfield or a meadow, like tracks like that or whatever. There might not be a lot of room for a young guy just trying to break in. You know, they're only going to get a couple drives, or whatever. And listen, he's there when he has them, you know, but he's going there and he's getting better. And I went to Raceway Park. You know, I knew there was going to be opportunity. That's where I went. So he's another kid that's making a great decision with his career.
Yeah, that's very important to be there just in case.
Always.
In case somebody needs a drive.
Yep.
Absolutely. 7 straight dash winning titles.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
Yeah,
Truly amazing.
it's crazy. I think Roger Houston told me a few years back, like, I think that's the record. Like, so I tied the record. So that be another thing that might be, like, help me shut down a little bit. I think if I get it this year, then it'll be 8, and that'll be a record. So it's not necessarily a push for that, you know what I mean? But, like, I did always want to do it, like, once. Like, you know what I mean? Because when I got in a real bad wreck, I was, like, 100 wins up, like, in 2010. And, like, of course you want to be the guy, do something good, you know what I mean? Like, but now it's just, like, everything's just natural. It's, like, I race these tracks, and that's what I do, and hopefully I have success. You know, it's not something like I shoot for, or I don't really necessarily set goals. But like, you know, when he had told me that, you know, the most anybody's ever won consecutive, I think it was 7, and it's been a long time. So I guess, you know, that's just a record to break, but they're meant to be broken. So
Yes,
some will be
absolutely.
mine, you know, I'm sure one day.
And that's that hard work. I mean, to work as hard as you do, it probably will stay that record for a long, long time.
Yeah, and it could, you know. But I could see some guys want maybe like a Hunter Myers, you know, he could, you know, he's got work ethic, you know, and he really likes the horse. He loves to drive horses. So, and he's doing the Meadows Northfield thing now. And I think as he progresses, because he already gets, you know, very, very quality drives because he does a quality job, you know. So I think a kid like him, you know, could be, you know what I mean, like, I don't know, whatever, like you take the throne or whatever you want to call it. But I can see it, you know. And there's a lot of guys that have the talent, but, you know, you got to be able to withstand the working and the driving back and forth. There's a lot of guys that do good and can win a lot of races. Believe me when I tell you. But there's that takes a special person, I guess, to want to be up and down the road all the time.
Yeah.
I guess you can call me special.
Well, we certainly appreciate you being here with us on air.
It was
I know
phenomenal.
Cheyenne Chrisman gave me a text and said, I think Aaron would come up. I said, oh, my gosh, that would be great. So,
Oh, she's good. She's good at promoting me. That's good. That's my girl there. She's doing a good job. She's you know, got her first job. Very, very nice kid.
Yep.
Another very well raised, and she's I'm very, very proud of her. You know, she put herself out there and you know, for this job and stuff like that. So I'm very proud of her, and I just don't get burnt out, Cheyenne.
I know. We kind of threw her to the wolves right away. She was
Good.
12 days at the Ohio State
Oh, my
Fair,
God.
and 12 days in a row, and it was 12-hour days, and it was tough. But I said, if she makes it through that, she's going to be a keeper.
Yeah, she's
And
tough.
we're going to keep her.
She's tough,
Yeah.
and she's got a lot of passion for the sport.
Yes, absolutely, and it's nice, a young person like her, because she can relate to all these things that.
Yes.
And she talks about TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. She knows so much and is so good at getting the word out. So.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we want to thank you so much, and
No
I know
problem.
you've got other stuff to do. You got to get
Oh
to
yeah,
Scioto.
we're gonna go get some fair food first. So
Okay,
hope I
fair
can fit
food.
my colors. Yeah, no, I was kidding. I'm not worried
Tell
about
us
that.
what you're going to look for. What's your favorite kind of fair food?
Well, I'm gonna go get that pork sandwich that's like the world's greatest.
Are
so-
you?
And Wyatt's been
Okay.
Wyatt's been talking about it for 3 days. So
Yes.
I don't know if I'm gonna have to wait for him, but him and I will hold hands down the midway. People come watch us. So that's what I'm gonna get. The pork sandwich for sure. Maybe we'll split it and get something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very comical, but he did tell me it's the world's greatest pork sandwich, and it's self-proclaimed, and that's what I'm gonna get.
Wow, that sounds awfully good. We will add it to our fair food report because we
Yes.
do this every fair. We have a fair food report. So thanks a lot,
No problem.
and good luck.
Thank you very much. Bye, guys.